Hello everyone, welcome to WebDev Warrior. In this video, we're going to build this beautiful agency website using Next.js, TypeScript, and Tailwind CSS. Let me show you the full demo of this website. So if I refresh here, you can see a beautiful animation. Here we have our logo, then we have some nav links with hover effect, and we have two buttons, one for login and one for sign up. If I hover, you can see this button have a beautiful hover effect. Then here we have some text and some description and two buttons with the same beautiful hover effect. Then we have the feature section and you can see a beautiful scroll animation here. And also we have some hover effect in this card. If I scroll, you can see more card will be appear in the screen with beautifully scroll animation. Then we have this support section with scroll animation. Then we have the pricing section with beautiful price card. So you can see the price card is looking very premium. Then we have this support team section and then this company section. And finally we have our footer. We have footer link with hover effect. And this project is fully mobile responsive. Let me show you the responsiveness in mobile view. So if I select iPhone 12 Pro and if I refresh, you can see the animation is also working properly. So if I scroll, you can see the animation is working. And you can see all the sections are fit perfectly in mobile view. So this is the price card in mobile view. So this is the footer. So you can see in mobile, it's look perfect. Let me show you the responsive nav bar here. So this is the hamburger menu. If I click here, you can see this beautifully nav bar with animation. So this is very beautiful. And if I select another device like Samsung Galaxy, you can see all the content is fit perfectly here. So for other screen size, you can see it's look perfect. So in this video, I'm going to explain every step of how to create a Next.js project, how to structure them, and how to deploy them in Vercel. The starter file of this project is included in the description. And if you have any question related to this project, you can comment. And we are going to give you the proper solution for your problem. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel for more web development project. Now let's start our project. Now we are going to set up our project. So I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to name it agency website. Then I'm going to open the folder with Visual Studio Code and go to the terminal section and open a new terminal. Then head over to your browser and search for Next.js and go to the installation page. Then copy this npx script and then paste the npm script here and add a / so that all the packages and all the files are downloaded or installed in this folder. Then enter. Then it will ask you some questions. So it's asked, would you like to use TypeScript? And yes, we are going to use TypeScript for this project. and we are going to set up ESLint, and we need Tailwind CSS. No, we do not need source directory, and yes, we are going to use app router, and we are not going to customize the default import alias, and that's it. It's going to install all the packages that needed for this project. So the installation is complete. So this is our Next.js 14 project setup. So here we have a main app directory, and this page.tsx is our root page. So if you go to the localhost 3000, then this page will appear. Now I'm going to clear this all and use the shortcut RAFCE to create a boilerplate. And here I'm going to name it home page. And I'm going to give it some Tailwind properties like text 9 XL and text color will be red 900 to check if the Tailwind is working properly. Then I'm going to start the project using npm run dev. And in global CSS, we do not need this code, and I'm going to remove it and save the file. So now go to the browser and open the localhost 3000. So as you can see, our Tailwind is working properly. So this is the layout piece. This is kind of wrapper for all our component. For example, if we add a navbar here and a footer here, then all the pages of our project will have a navbar and a footer attached to them. So this is kind of wrapper for our project. It is the main layout. So we are going to work on this file later. Now I'm going to create a images folder in the public directory, and here I'm going to copy some images. The starter file of this project is given in the description, where you can find all the images included. Now I'm going to delete this. So this is our images. We're going to use these images in our project. So now we're going to add font in our project. So Next.js 14 has Google font integrated with it. So here you can see it's inter font, which is imported from Google Fonts. So for this project, I'm going to use Poppins font. So here I'm going to search Poppins. So this is the Poppins font, and I'm going to change the constant name here with Poppins, and here also the Poppins. We need to pass some parameter here. The first parameter is font weight. So here I'm going to use 400, 500, 600, 700 and 800, and we have to pass another parameter which is subsets, and the subsets will be Latin. Then here we have to change this inter and add our Poppins. So now this is our Poppins font. So if I inspect and over here, you can see it's the Poppin font. So the font is working. Now this is the metadata of our project. So here the title is create next tab and the description is given. So we are going to change this. For the title, we are going to use agency build your dream. You can add your description. This is for the SEO purpose. So now if we check, you can see here it's agency build your dream. So this is our metadata. Then we need some icons for our project. For the icons, I'm going to use hero icons. So I'm going to the website of hero icons, then the GitHub page. So this is the GitHub page of hero icon. Here I'm going to copy this npm script, and then I'm going to split the terminal, and in the right hand side I'm going to paste the npm script. So it will install the hero icon in our project. Now it's completed, and in the app directory I'm going to create another folder called components, and in the components folder I'm going to create a file called home.tsx. So this will be the main home page component. In this home component we're going to add all the component related to the home page, and then I'm going to add this home component in our main page component. So I'm going to use the RAFC, and then I'm going to add it in our main page component. So home, so this is our home component. So this is our project setup. Now we are going to start our navbar. So we do not need this style anymore, so I'm going to cut it. So this is our home. Now I'm going to create a folder in our component folder, and I'm going to name it navigation. In navigation folder I'm going to create a file called nav.tsx, and we are going to use our shortcut to create our boilerplate. Then I'm going to create another file which is for the mobile navbar. So I'm going to name it mobile nav.tsx. So this is the mobile navbar, and then I'm going to create another file called responsive nav.tsx. So in responsive navbar I'm going to place our nav and then mobile nav. In React 14 all the components are server component. So this is the server component and this is the server component. All the components are server component. The server component are very useful because in this component all the pages in server component are processed in the server. That's why they are very fast. So one thing that is you need to keep in mind that in the server component we cannot use use effect or use state, because use effect and use state are for client component. For example, if I now let me add this responsive nav in our page first. So no, we are not going to add it here. We are going to add the responsive navbar in our layout folder. So in the layout, before the children, we are going to add our responsive nav. So here our nav and mobile nav and home. So let me show you one thing. So in responsive nav file, if I use a console log responsive nav, so if I run this file, you can see it's logged in the terminal. So if I go to the browser and open the console, you can see there is nothing printed here. So there is no console log. If I refresh, there is no console log here. So the log is coming from the terminal. Now in the responsive nav, we are going to use useEffect and UseState. So what should we do? Now let me show you. If I use UseState like const nav set nav is equal to UseState, you will see it's giving us an error. So this is the error, which is saying you are importing a component that needs UseState. It only works in a client component. That means our component is a server component. So to make a component client component, we just need to add this use client in top of the file. Now it's going to work. Now if I go to the console, we remove the console log. If I again use the console log here, console log responsive nav, you can see there is no console in the terminal. So if I go to the browser, you can see now it's in the browser section. So in the browser console, we are getting our console log. So that is the server component and client component. So we are going to make this component a client component because we are going to use UseState to manage our show and hide nav there. So now if you understand this, we are going to proceed in our navbar design. So in the navbar section, we are going to give this a class name of height 12 vh for viewport height, background will be white, shadow will be md, then we have another div with class name, width will be 85%, flex, item center, justify between, max will be auto, and height will be 12 vh. So this is our navbar. Let me show you the deployed project. So this is our navbar. We have a logo here, then we have our nav link, then we have two buttons. So we are going to use the flex box, and then we are going to use the justify between, so that they are placed between. Now here I'm going to use a h1, then I'm going to use a span inside the h1 span. In the span we have w, and then we have So this is our logo. We are going to style this a little more. For the h1, we'll have a class name of text 16 pixel. For the medium and higher screen, higher resolution screen, we are going to use text 25 pixel. Font will be bold. Text slate 800. We're going to use a dot here, and for the span we'll have a class name of text 27 pixel. For the medium and larger screen, the text will be 40 pixel and the color will be text red 600. So this is our logo. Now we are going to build these nav links. So for this, after the h1, I'm going to create a UL, and the UL have a class name of hidden, and then in the large screen it will become flex. The item will be center and the space x will be 10, and inside the UL we have a list item. The list item have a class name text 17 pixel, cursor pointer text red 500, and inside this li we have Next.js link component. So we are going to import link from next link, and then here will be home, and we have to pass our href with just the home page. So if I check here, so this is our home, then I am going to copy this, and this one will be about. Here in the hover, the text color will be red 500. We are going to use a transition, and the duration will be 200. So this is our second link. Now I am going to copy it 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. And the third one will be services. Then we have customer. And then we have block. So these are nav links. Next we have these 2 buttons. One for login and one for sign up. Now let's build this. For this, after the UL, we are going to declare another div. This div has a class name of flex item center SpaceX will be 2, and in the medium and large screen the SpaceX will be 5. So inside this div we are going to use our 2 button. One is for sign in button, and another is login button. So for that, I'm going to create another folder in our component, which will be button. Then I'm going to create a file which is button blue.tsx. So I'm going to create the boilerplate, and then I have another button which is button red.tsx. So I'm going to create the boilerplate for this also. This is the button red. So first we're going to create the blue button. So here we are going to delete this and we are going to return a button component. So button, then this button have a class name of rounded. So we are going to use rounded md. Then we have px4 py1, font size will be 15 pixel, and in medium and large screen px will be 8 and py will be 2.5. Overflow will be hidden. We're going to declare the group, then bg red. No, this is the blue button. So bg blue 500. Then we're going to make it a relative positioning. In the hover, the background will have a gradient, bg gradient to r. You can see the property here, the background image linear gradient to right. So here in hover, from blue 500 over to blue 400. Then the text will be white. Over there will be ring 2, in hover ring offset will be 2. In hover the ring color will be ring blue 400. And the transition will be all, is out, duration 300. And inside the button we have a span, and this span have a class name of absolute. From right 0 w8 h32 minus empty 12 means minus empty 12. Transition duration 1000, transform translate x12 in the group over translate negative translate x will be 40. Then we have background white, opacity 10, rotate 12, and is. Then we have another span, class name relative. And now here we are going to pass the text for the button. So I'm going to create an interface for the prop types. So interface props, and we're going to pass it text, which will be the type of string. Then I'm going to add this in our component. So now here we'll receive our text. Now I'm going to the navigation and nav. Then here it will be button blue, and the text will be login. So let me check. Something is not working well. Let me check the code. So rounded MD px4 UI1 text. So the problem is we have to pass the ring, not right. So ring 2. Now if I check, now it's working properly. So these are login button. Now we're going to design our red button. So again I'm going to create a prop types interface props text string. Then we're going to pass the props interface here, and we're going to import the text. Here we're going to use the button, and the button have a class name of rounded MD px4 UI1 text 15 pixel. In the medium and large screen pxl 8 and py will be 2.5. Overflow will be hidden group. Then bg background will be bg red 500. Then relative positioning in the hover it will be bg gradient to PG gradient to R. Hover. Actually, it have the same design, just the background color will be changed. So here in the place of blue it will be red. So this is our red button. So now in the navbar we are going to use the button red and the text will be sign up. So if we check, this is our login and sign up button. If I hover, you can see the beautiful hover effect. So this is our nav bar. Next we are going to build our mobile navigation. So now if we inspect, and if you can see after the large screen the nav links are hidden. So now we need to work on the mobile nav. So in the nav bar we have another component we need to use, which is our hamburger menu. So I am going to use bars 3 bottom right icon from hero icon, and I'm going to give a class name of w 1.5 ram. In the large screen it will be hidden and height will be 1.5 ram. Text color will be text slate 900 and cursor will be pointer. So if we check, so this is hidden, but when you can see in the smaller screen the hamburger menu is showing, and in larger screen it's hidden. So this is our nav bar. Now we have to work on the mobile nav bar. Now go to the mobile nav section. Here we are going to give this a class name of transform. We are going to use a transition all, duration 200, it will be fixed position, top 0, left 0, z index will be 200, height will be 100 of viewport height, right will be 0, then the bottom will 0, and background color will be hash 6D096B. Now I'm going to save this. As you can see, this is our mobile app now. Next we have an icon, which is the cross icon. So X mark icon, we are going to use this icon, and the class name will be width to ram, height to ram, The position will be absolute, top to RAM, text color will be white, Z index will be 202, higher than the previous one, and right also 2. So this is our icon. By clicking this, we are going to close the navbar. Next, I am going to copy the UL. So I am going to copy this portion from our nav component and I am going to paste it in our mobile nav. Then I am going to import this link from next link. Now here we are going to change some of the style. So we are going to remove this and this will be a relative positioning. Then set index will be 201. The space in y direction will be 10. And there will be flex, but not in the row direction. It will be flex column direction. The item will be center, justify center, and height will be 100%. And for the link, I'm going to select all of them and change the font size to 25 pixel. So let's check. So this is our map, but there is something wrong. So first the text will be white and I'm going to remove this. So in hover the color will be changed to yellow, not red. So yellow 300. So this is our neighbor. There is something wrong. So remove this. So the space extend, we do not need this space extend. Now it's looking good. So for home, the color will be selected. So for home component, so for the home, text color will be yellow 300. for the now it's looking good. Now we have to implement the functionality to close the navbar and open the navbar. So for this, I'm going to the responsive nav section, and here I'm going to create a UseState with showNav and set showNav, and UseState initially it will be false. Then a function it will show the navbar, show navbar, show nav handler. Here we are going to set show nav to true, and another function to close the nav. So const close nav handler, and this function will make set show nav to false. And now we have to pass some props in our navbar and mobile navbar. For the navbar, we have to pass the open nav, and we are going to pass the show nav handler function. And for the mobile nav, we are going to pass the nav, which is show nav, and then the close nav, which will be the close nav handler function. Now in open nav, we have to receive these props in the nav and mobile nav, and we have to use the type for the props. So first in the navbar, I'm going to use the interface, then props, and here we are going to receive a function which is open nav, and the type will be a function which return nothing, so void. Then we're going to add our interface props here, and going to import the open nav function. And when we click the hamburger menu, we are going to open the nav. So on click open nav. Now in the mobile navbar, we are going to define an interface props, and here we are going to receive two props. One is nav, which is type of boolean, true or false. Then we have a function which is close nav, and this is again return void. Now we have to pass this here props, and we are going to import nav and close them. So when we click the X icon, we are going to close the nav. So on click and close nav. Now we are going to give this mobile nav a certain type of style based on the nav condition. So for this, here I'm going to create a constant nav open style. So if the nav is true, means the nav is showing, then we're going to give it a translate x0. Otherwise it will have a translate x minus 100%. That means out of the screen, so it will not show. Now to use this design, we are going to make this a template literal, and then I'm going to insert this nav open style. So let's check. So if I click here, you can see it's opening and closing, but the animation is too fast. Give this the duration of 500. Now let's check. So if I click here, it's opening. If I click here, it's closing, opening and closing. So it's looking beautiful, and there is a certain animation going on. So it's slightly coming and then slightly goes out of the screen. So this is our responsive navigation bar. So for iPhone, for every screen device, it's working perfectly. So our nav bar is completed. Now we are going to build the hero section. So this is our hero section where we have an image, some text, description, and two buttons. Now let's start our hero section. So first, go to the component folder, and here I'm going to create another folder called hero, and then inside the hero folder I'm going to create a file called hero.tss, and I'm going to use the shortcut to create the component, and then I'm going to add the hero section in our home component. So here I'm going to add our hero section. So this is our hero section. So here is the hero. Now we are going to design the hero section. So for that, the first div will have a class name of height 70 VH. For large screen, the height will be 88 VH. For medium screen, the height will be 80 VH. And in smaller devices, the height will be 75 VH. Then this div will be flex, and items will be center and justify, and the flex will be in column direction. So flex col. Also the justify will be center. So it's in the center. Then inside this div we have another div, and this div has a class name of grid. Grid calls 1 for smaller devices. For large screen, the grid will have 5 columns. So grid calls will be 5. The item will be center, width will be 80%, and margin will be auto. Inside this div, we have a div for the text and the description section, and another div for the images. So in the text section we have, so we are going to give this a call span of 2. So the 5 column will be divided into 2 to 3 percentage. So that means this first div will have a call span 2 and the second div will have a call span of 3. So inside this div we have a h1, and here we are going to use a text. You can use any text here. Now I am going to give a class name. Class name of text 27 pixel. In the medium devices, text will be 35 pixel. Text will be 35 pixel. In the large screen, text will be 40 pixel. Margin bottom will be 1 rem. Font will be bold. Text color will be hash 02073E, and we are going to use a leading of 2.4 rem. In medium, leading will be 4 rem. So if we check, so this is our heading text. So the leading means the distance between this line and this line. Then we have a p tag, and I'm going to use lorem ipsum generator. So this is another extension which called let me show you. So this is the lorem ipsum extension. So using this extension you can create dummy text in your project. So let's go to the hero section and then style this p tag. So this will be class name. In the medium screen, text will be 17 pixel. So normally for the smaller devices the text will be 15 pixel. Margin bottom will be 2 rem. Text will be black. Opacity 90 and font 400. So this is a description text. Then we have 2 buttons. So here we have another div with a class name of flex item center spacex 4. In medium and higher screen the spacex will be 6, and then inside this div we have button blue and button red, and the blue button have a text of get started, and for button red the text will be explore features. Let's check. So here is the two button, get started and explore feature. The only thing that is left is the images. So first I'm going to import the image source. So import hero image from slash is in the public folder and hero.svg. Then inside this tab I am going to use the Next.js image component and I'm going to import the image from next image. Then the source will be hero image and the alt tag will be here. This alt tag is useful for the SEO purposes. Now let's check. So the image is very small. That is because we have to give this a class name of call span 3 and this image will be hidden in smaller screen and in small screen size it will appear in the screen as a block element. So now it's looking good. Let me show you the responsiveness. So this is in mobile view. It's looking good. These are the button. These are the nav bar. And if I increase the screen size, you can see it's fit perfectly for every screen size. So this is our hero section. Now we are going to build the feature section. So this is the feature section where we have a heading and then we have this card element of all the features. So let's start our feature section. For this, I'm going to the component folder and here I'm going to create another folder called features. And inside this feature folder, I'm going to create a file called features.tsx. And we are going to use our shortcut for creating our component boilerplate. And then I'm going to add this component in our home component, which is our main homepage component. So here I'm going to add our features component. So this is our features. Now we are going to add some padding here. So let's go to the features.tsx folder and for the first div we have a class name of padding top of 5 gram and padding bottom will be 3 gram. So now you can see there is a padding in the top and padding in the bottom. Then here we are going to create a reusable component for section heading. So we need the section heading in many of our sections. That's why we are going to create a component and reuse it. So that's how we are going to make our project more maintainable. So for this, I'm going to create another folder here called section heading.tsx, not tsx, just section heading. And inside this, I'm going to create a file called section heading.tsx. Then we are going to create our boilerplate. So this is our boilerplate. Now add this in our features section. So here section heading. Now the section heading need two props. One for this heading mini, and this is the heading primary. So we are going to pass these two text in our section heading. So for this, in the section heading, we have a heading mini, and we're going to pass here ideal solution for you, and then we have a heading primary, heading primary, and here we are going to pass explore ultimate features. Now we have to receive this props and give this prop a proper types in our section heading component. So for this, I'm going to create an interface props, and then we are going to receive heading mini of type string, and then heading primary will be also of type string. Then I am going to pass these props here in our main component. Then I am going to import our heading mini and heading primary. So now I am going to add this here. For this, inside this div, so the div has a class name of text center and padding of 2, and inside this div we have a p with heading mini, and then a h1 with heading primary. So now I'm going to give them a class name of text hash 0600b6cad. We are going to give this a sky blue color, and then in the medium and large screen device the text will be 16 pixel, and for smaller device the text will be 15 pixel. In the h1 have a class name of margin top of 0.5 rem, then font will be bold, text will be 22 pixel. In the medium and large screen the text will be 30 pixel, and the text color will be hash 02073E. So this is our section heading component. Let me check. So this is our section heading. Now we are going to build the card. For this we are going to use the grid system, and we are going to divide this in 3 columns. So let's do this. So in our features, after the section we have another div of class name padding top of 5 rem, which will be 80%, margin will be auto. We are going to use the grid system, and then grid calls 1 for smaller devices, and in medium and large screen the grid calls will be 2, and large and higher screen we have grid calls 3. The item will be center, and grid gap will be 1.4 rem. Then we have another div, and inside this div we are going to create another usable component for which is called feature card. So by using this feature card we can use this anywhere in our project if needed. and our code will be more readable and maintainable. So for this, in the features folder, I'm going to create another component called feature card. Feature card dot tsx. And this is the feature card. Now I'm going to add this feature card component here. The feature card components need some props. One is image and one is title. I'm going to import all the images and icons that needed. For the image, I mean these icons. So I'm going to import all of these icons now. So for this, import icon 1 from slash public slash icon1.png. Now I'm going to copy it 5 times because we have 5 icons. So this will be 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and we're going to use the icon 4, icon 2 again. So we do not need to import this. So this is our icons. Now in feature card, we are going to pass in the title this email subscription and then the image, which is icon1 dot source. If we need to pass the image as a props, then we have to use the dot source property here. Now we have to receive this in our feature card and give them a proper types. So for this, in the feature card, I'm going to use the interface again, interface props. And by the way, you can name it anything you want. So I'm using the props because it is the prop types. So here in the interface, we have an image of type string, and then we have a title of type string. Then here we are going to pass our prop types and import the image and title. Now we are going to build this feature card. So for this, the div have a class name of text center bg gray 100 p4. If you can hover, you can see the property. It means p4 means padding 100. Then we have rounded lg for large round. Then in hover there will be a shadow of lg. We are going to use transition all, duration of 300. Cursor will be pointer, and in hover scale will be 105. So let's check. So this is our feature code. You can see a little hover effect here. Then inside this div we have our image. So I'm going to use the next image from Next.js, and I'm going to give this the source we are going to getting as a props. Then after the source we have a alt tag. Here I am going to give this icon, and then we are going to define a width of 70 and height of 70, and a class name of margin auto. So if I check, so these are first icon. Then we have a h1, and here I'm going to give the title, and we have a class name of text 20 pixel, margin top, 1.4 RAM, font 500, text hash 02073E. Then we have a description. Here I'm going to use the lorem is some generator. Then I'm going to give a class name of margin top on RAM. Text color will be black. Opacity 90, and text 15 pixel. So this is our description. Then we have a learn more. You can make this a link if you want. So class name empty 1.4 RAM. Text will be rate 500. No, 500. It's text rate 600. Font 500. Cursor pointer in over. Text color will be rate 800. So this is our first cut. So we need 5 more. So now we can do is we just need to copy this 5 10 and change the props. So I'm not going to change the title. You can do this, you can add your title, but I'm going to change the icon. So for the second one, the icon will be icon 2, then icon 3, icon 4, icon 5, and I have 5 icons, so I'm going to reuse one of these icons. So I'm going to reuse the second icon. So now if I check, so you can see there the gap is not working. So let's check this. Well, I am not closing the third bracket. So now it's looking good. So this is our feature card. Let's check if it's responsive or not. So inspect. So I'm reducing the screen size. Now it's become 2 grid columns, then 1. So you can see it's fully responsive and looks beautiful in mobile screen. If I use different types of screen, it's working. The hover is also working. So now our feature section is completed. Now we are going to build this customer support section. So here we have images, and then we have some heading and some description and this list. So let's start building this component. So in the Visual Studio Code, in the component folder, I'm creating another folder called customer support.tsx. So the folder name is not tsx, it's just customer support, and inside this customer support we are going to create our file, which is customer support.tss, and here we are going to use our extension to create the boilerplate, and then I'm going to add this in our home component. So in home component we are going to add our customer support component. So now let's check. So this is our customer support. Now we are going to design this. So in customer support, the first div have a class name of padding top of 5 RAM, padding bottom of 3 RAM, and inside this div we have another div with class name width will be 80%, margin will be auto. We're going to use the grid, and for smaller device the grid cost will be 1, and for large screen the grid call will be 2, and the gap will be 4 RAM and item center. So we are using a grid system, so we are going to divide this in two parts, one for this image and one for the text. So now the first div is for image and the second div is for the text. So the first div have a class name of order1, and in large screen the order will be 2, and in large screen the order will be 1. So what does this mean? So let me show you. So here you can see we have image and then we have the text, but if we inspect and you see the first element is image and then the text. So if I reduce it, you see in the mobile devices the text is in the first position and the image is in the second position. So that's why the image div will initially have order 2 for the smaller devices, and when we hit the large screen the order will be 1. So the image will be the first element. I hope you understand. And inside this div we are going to use our Next.js image tag. So import image from next image, and here I'm going to import the image source. So import support image from slash public slash customer.png, and here the source will be support image and the alt will be support. So let's check. So no, this is not the image we want. We want this support.jpg. Now if I check, now it's working, but our image is on the wrong side. So why? Let's check. So for that we are going to make this div of class name order1, and in large screen the order will be 2, and here will be our text. So now it's perfect. The image is in the left side and text is in the right side. Now inside this div we have a h1, and the text is, we are going to copy it from here. So this is a text. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. You can use any text you want. It's just a dummy text. So the class name will be text 20 pixel and medium large screen text 25 pixel, and in large screen text large screen the text will be 28 pixel. Text color will be hash 02073E. So these are text color. Then we have font of bold. Then we have the leading of 2 RAM, and in medium and large screen the leading will be 3 RAM. So let's check. So these are heading. Then we have a p tag. Then we have a p tag, and I'm going to use the lorem ipsum to generate some random text. And in this p tag have a class name of margin top of 1.5 RAM, margin bottom of 1.5 RAM, text color will be black, opacity 90, text 15 pixel, and in medium and large screen text will be 16 pixel. So this is our description. Then we have this list. So now after the p tag we have a div of class name, flex, item center, margin bottom of 1 RAM, and spacex will be 3. And inside this div we have a icon which is check icon, and then we have a p without text, list text. Here it is medical and vision, and in this icon we have a class name of width of 1.3 RAM, width will 1.3 RAM, height will be 1.3 RAM. Then we are going to give a color of text red 600, and for the p tag we have a class name of text 70 pixel, text hash 02073E. Then we have font 500. So these are fast, and we need 3 more. So I'm just copy this 3 times. So for the second one it will be live insurance, then HK savings, and for the last one so this is our support list. Now I'm going to show you the responsiveness. So if I inspect, You can see the image in order 1 and the text is order 2. If I reduce, now the text become the order 1 and the image is in order 2. So you can see it's perfectly responsive. If I select a different screen size and different devices, it's fit perfectly. So this is our support section. Customer support section is done. Next, we are going to build this price section. There are 3 price sections: one is starter, premium pack, and ultimate. So now let's start building this price section. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and in the component folder I'm going to create another folder called price, and inside this price I'm going to create another file called price.tsx, and I'm going to use the shortcut to create the boilerplate, and I'm going to add this in our home component. So price. So these are price. Then in the price section, the first div have a class name of padding top of 5 RAM, padding bottom of 3 RAM, and then we have in section heading inside this div. So section heading, we are going to import our reusable component which we built previously, and then I'm going to keep the prop heading mini deal for your business, and then heading primary will be meet our pricing plan that suit you. Let's check. So this is our heading. Then we have a div, and we are going to make this div a grid element, and we are going to divide it in 3 parts for our 3 price cut. The width will be class name, and the width will be 80%. The max, the margin will be auto. It will be a grid. Padding top will be 6 RAM. Gap will be 2 RAM. For large screen, gap will be 0. We do not need any gap in large screen. Now in small devices, the grid calls will be 1. In medium, grid calls will be 2, and in large, grid calls will be 3, and the item will be sender. Here we have another div, and inside this div we are going to create our reusable component, which is the price cut component. Price cut. So here we are going to place our price cut component. So inside the price folder I'm going to create another file which is priceCard.tsx, and I'm going to create the boilerplate using RAFC. Then I'm going to add this in our price box. So here in our price div we are going to add our price card, and in the price card I'm going to pass some props. The first props will be a background. So we have 3 price card and all have different background. So that's why we are going to pass the background as a props. So the first one, the background will be BG. We are going to pass the full Tailwind class name here, 22840C. Then we are going to pass the price. For the first one, the price will be 90.99. Sorry, for the first one, let me check. So the first one have this color, so not the green color. So let me change this. So hash 811248. So this is the background color for the first price card. Then we have price. Then we have number. This is the first card. So we are going to pass 1. And then the plan. And this is the starter plan. Starter. Now we have to receive these props and give them the proper types using the prop types. So in price card, I am going to create an interface of props, and we are going to receive the background bg as a string. Then we have the number as a string, then the price string, and finally the plan string. And I'm going to pass this in the main component to prop, and here I'm going to import the bg, number, plan, and price. Now we're going to design this. So one thing I need to show you that the middle card is larger compared to the other two. So we have to make this card a little bigger. For this, here we are going to check. So const large. So for the large card, we're going to check if the number is equal to 2. That means the second card, and we want to make the second card a bigger element compared to the other two. So if the number is 2, then in the large screen we're going to make it larger. So scale 110. But in normal devices, or you can say in the mobile devices, the scale will be 100. And the Z index will be 100, and otherwise an empty string. So now here I'm going to use the class name. Now we have to use the template literal. So the div is relative. Then we are going to use our large variable or design here. So if the number is 2, this style will be applied, otherwise nothing will apply here. So large, then we have a bg gray 100, then we have shadow md, then transform. And inside this div we have another div, and this div has a class name where again use a template literal, because here we are going to use our background. So bg, then we have height 200 pixel, There will be a flex, and in flex column, so flex call, then item center, justify center, rounded top large, no, rounded top MD. So this is our design. Let's check. So this is working, the background there working properly, and we have some roundness in the top. Then inside this div we have a p tag with the plan, and then we have a h1. So inside h1 we have a span, and in the span we are going to place our price. So price slash, and under this span we have per month. So for p tag we are going to give this a class name of text 20 pixel, text wide, font 500 MB, means margin bottom 1.5 rem. Then for the h1 we have a class name of text 20 pixel, and the text color will be white. And this span have a class name text 30 pixel, text yellow 300, and font will be bold. So this is the starter and the price. Next we have another div here. This div have a class name of padding 4, margin top 1 rem, and text center. And inside this div we have a p tag with class name text 16 pixel, font 500, border bottom of 1.4 pixel, border gray 300, padding bottom 2, pb2 means padding bottom 0.5 rem. The text color will be black, opacity is 80, no, opacity will be 90, and then margin bottom will be 1 rem. And this is gonna be full access library. So where I am going to copy it 4 times. So the second one, multiple website Next.js project monstack project, and finally TypeScript project. So now let's check. So this is looking good. The next thing we have is the button. So in the button, for the second card the button color is blue. So here we are using the blue button. For other two, we are going to use the red button. So how can we do that? Let's see. So for that, after this P, I have a div with class name, padding top 1.5 RAM, not padding top, it's margin top 1.5 RAM, padding bottom will be 1.5 RAM. Then the text will be center, and inside this div we are going to check if the number is not equal to 2, then we are going to use the, then we have import, we are going to use the button red, and the text will be choose plan. I'm going to copy this, and if it is equal to true, then we are going to use our button blue. So that's it. No, it's the red button. Now we are going to add our other two card. So now it's very easy. We are going to the price section, and we just have to copy this 2 times, and we are going to change the props. So for the second one, the background color is hash 22840C, and the price I'm going to give a random price. This is the second card, and this is premium pack. For the third one, the color is hash 112C60. The price is 39. This number 3, and this the ultimate black. So ultimate. Now let's check. So you can see everything works perfectly. The second card is larger and it has a blue button. Now check if it is responsive. So I'm going to inspect this and make it a responsive. So this is the 3 card. If now it's 2 and 1 is under the 2, so this is responsive, and you can see it's fully responsive. If I select iPhone 12, it's fit perfectly. So the price section is fully responsive and it is now complete. Next we have this support team section with the image and some text description. So here we are going to use the grid system, and we are going to divide in 2 parts, one for the image and one for this text description. So let's start this section. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. Again, in component, I'm going to create a folder called support team, and inside this folder I'm going to create a file called support team.tsx. Then I'm going to use our shortcut to create the component boilerplate and then add this in our home component. So here we are going to use the support team. So these are support team. Then for the div, I'm going to give a class name of padding top of 7 RAM and padding bottom of 3 RAM. and inside this div we have another div. It has a class name of width 80%, margin auto, items center, grid equals 1 for small device, and in large device the grid calls will be 2. The gap between the two elements will be 2 rem, and inside this div we have two div, one for the text and the description and another for the image. So first we are going to work on the text section. So inside this div we have a h1, and here we have, do you need help? Our support team is ready to help you. And I'm going to give this a class name of text 27 pixel, and the medium screen text will be 35 pixel, and large screen text will be 40 pixel, margin bottom will be 1 rem, font will be bold, then text color will be hash 02073E. So this is the text color. Then we have a leading of 2.4 rem in mobile view, and in the medium screen the leading will be 4 rem, leading 4 rem. So this is our heading, and then we have after this h1 we have a paragraph tag p tag, where we are going to use our lorem ipsum generator to generate random text, and this p tag have a class name of text gray 900, opacity 90, text will be 17 pixel, and margin top will be 1 rem. So this is the description. And then we have this part. So we have an icon, then some text, and another icon and some text. The one is a little heading type and other is a description type. So for this I'm going to import the two icon. So here I'm going to use import icon 1 from slash public slash icon 1, and another is icon 2. I'm also going to import the support image. So import support team image from public slash support team. So now after the p tag we have a div with class name flex item center space 6 and margin top student, and inside this div we have the image, and I'm going to import it in from next image, and the source will be icon1, and the alt will be icon, and I'm going to give it a width of 60 pixel and height of 60 pixel. So this is our icon. Then we have another div, and inside this div we have h1 with the heading email line support, and then we have a p tag with some description. For the h1 we have a class name of text 18 pixel, text gray 900, font will be 500, and margin bottom will be 0.5 rem. So this is the heading. Then for the p tag we have a class name. In the medium screen we have width of 70%. In a smaller device the width is 90%. Text is 15 pixel. Text color is black, and opacity is 85. So this is our description. We have another, so I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and change this to icon 2, and this will be live ticket support. So our left part is ready. Now we need to add this image. So for this, in this div we're going to use our image, and then the source is support team image, and the alt tag is template support. So that's it, our support team section is ready. Let's check if it's responsive. So this is fully responsive. So as you can see, if I decrease the screen size, it's adapt perfectly. If I select iPhone 12, you see it's looking good. For Samsung Galaxy, it's also looking perfect. So this section is complete. Next, we are going to build this company section. So here we have a heading, some description, one button, and the image. Now let's start building this section. So I'm going to create a folder in my component folder, which is company, and inside this folder I'm going to create a file called company.tsx. Now I'm going to use the shortcut to generate the boilerplate of this component, and then I'm going to add this in our home component. So that's it. So this is our company. Then the first div have a class name of padding top of 6 RAM, then padding bottom of 3 RAM. Then inside this div we have a h1. Here we are going to use company who also work for us, work with us. So I'm going to give this h1 a class name margin bottom 1.5 RAM. Font will be bold, text 22 pixel, text will be center, in medium screen text will be 30 pixel, and the text color will be hash 02073. So let's check. So these are heading. Then we have a p tag, and I'm going to use the program ipsum generator to generate some random text, and this p tag have a class name of width 90%, and this small device width will be 85%, medium screen the width will be 75%, in the large screen the width will be 65%, and in extra large the width will be 55%. Margin will be auto, text will be 17 pixel, text will be center, text color will be text gray 950, and the opacity is 80. So these are details or description. Then we have another tree with the text explore details, and it has a class name text center, margin top 1.7 RAM, font 500, cursor will be pointed, and text blue 600. So these are explore details link. Then we have the image. For this I'm going to use a div with class name margin top 2 RAM, text center width 80%, and margin auto. And inside this div we have the image. We're going to use the next image here. So image, and I'm going to import the image source, which is import company image from slash public slash this is customer.png. So in the image tag, the source, we are going to use the company image, and for the alt tag we are going to use the text company. So let's check. So our section is looking good. So let's check it is responsive or not. If I inspect, you see it's fully mobile responsive. It's perfectly fit in mobile view. So this is our company section. Now we are going to build the footer section. So this is our footer section. Let's start building our footer. So for this, I'm going to create a folder inside our component folder, which is footer. And inside this folder, I'm going to create a file called footer.tsx. And then I'm going to use the shortcut to create the component boilerplate. And now I'm going to add this footer in our main layout. So here, after the nav, then we have the children, means all the components, and then in last we have our footer. So these are footer. So you can see it's here, the footer. Now we are going to style this footer. So the first div have a class name of padding top of 3 rem and padding bottom of 3 rem. Inside this div we have another div. We are going to make this a grid system. So we have class name of width 80%, margin auto, grid, and small it's grid equals 1. Then we have border bottom of 1.5 pixel, and the border bottom color will be BG slate 300. Then we have padding bottom of 2 rem, and in medium the grid curve will be 2, and in large the grid curve will be 3, and in extra large the grid curve will be 4. The gap will be 2 rem, and items are going to start. So inside this div we have another div with class name. In medium screen the margin will be auto, and otherwise the margin is 0. Inside this div we have a h1 with class name text 17 pixel, text gray 900. Then we have font semi bold, margin bottom of 1.5 rem, and this is the compound. And after this h1 we have a p tag with class name text black, opacity 80, margin bottom 1 rem, then text 15 pixel, cursor pointer, hover, text yellow 600, and inside this div we have about. So I'm going to copy this p tag 4 times, 1 2 3 4, and the next one is affiliate. Then we have careers and culture. and then we have block, and finally we have press. So let's check. So this is our first part. We are going to copy it 3 times. So 1 2 3. So let's do this. So this is the div. You can create a separate component for this, but I'm going to copy it. Then we have my account. So the heading, it's my account. Then we have press inquiries. Then social media directories, images, and b-roll. And finally we have permission. So this is our second part. Then I'm going to copy it again. So let's copy and then paste. So for the third one, it's our information return policies, privacy policy, then terms and condition, and sitemap, and finally we have store hours. So this is our third part. So here I have a spelling mistake. Now I am going to copy it one more time for the last link. So copy and paste, and then it has about us, then support center, support center, customer support, about us, then copyright, and finally the popular campaign. So these are 4 part. And the one thing that is left is this copyright text. So let's go to our footer component, and then after this div we have another div, and I'm going to copy the text here. So this is our text, and this div have a class name of with 50% margin auto, margin top 1 RAM, text 15 pixel, opacity 75. So our footer part is complete. Let's see if it's responsive or not. So you can see it's fully responsive. If I select the iPhone 40, it's look good. For other devices, it's adapt perfectly. So our footer is complete. So our full website is now completed. The only thing that is left is to add some scroll animation here. Now we are going to add our animation. Let me show you the animation again. So here you can see the animation, and if we scroll, we have a scroll animation. So we are going to build this animation. So to build this animation, we are going to use a npm package which is called AOS, animation on scroll. We are going to use these packages for our animation. This is a very simple library to use. So here you can see there are different types of animation: fade up, fade left, fade right. So what we need to do, we just need to add this data property in our div or in our component that we want to animate. So if we add this, then the element will be animated on the scroll. So there are other properties. So if I go to the GitHub page, so this is the official GitHub page for AOS. Here you can see they have a bunch of configuration, and you can learn more about this library. So now I am going to install this package in our project. So npm install. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So now I'm going to the home component. Then we have to import this two in our component. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. So there is a type error showing, so we need to run npm I dash dash save dash dev hash type slash AOS. So for the type we have to install this. So I'm going to paste it and enter. So this component we are going to use the use effect hooks. So that's why we need to make this component a client component. So I am going to make it a client component by using the use client text here. Now inside this component, I'm going to use the use effect to initialize our AOS. So use effect, and here I'm going to pass an empty array. It's not dot, it will be a comma, and inside this use effect we are going to initialize our AOS library. So for this, AOS dot init, and we are going to pass some props or configuration props. So you can learn more about the parameter in the official documentation. So here we need only 4. So first one is duration. The duration will be 1000 millisecond or 1 second, and the easing will be is, then once true. That means we are going to perform the animation once. Then we have anchor placement, and this will be top bottom. So our initialization is complete. Now we are going to apply the animation. So first I am going to the hero section. In hero section, this h1 tag, we have a data dash AOS. We are going to apply the fade left here. And for the p tag, we're going to use data-aos equal to fade right. And here we are going to apply a delay. So first this text will be visible, then this text will animate. So for this we are going to pass another data props, which is data-aos dash delay is equal to 200. Then for the button div we are going to apply a zoom in effect. So zoom in and data-aos dash delay will be 400. And last we have our image. For this image div I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and the delay will be 600 millisecond and the animation will be fade left. So now let's check. So I am going to delete this page. So if I refresh, you can see the animation is working. So this is not fade left, we are going to use fade right here and left for the paragraph. Now check again. Now it's looking better. Then we are going to apply our animation in this section. So let's go to the feature section, and for the first element, for the first card element, we have data-aos is equal to zoom in, and we have data-aos anchor placement will be top center. We are going to use top center as our anchor placement. Then I'm going to copy this, and for the next one we are going to apply some delay. So data-aos delay is equal to 200. So we are going to apply 200 millisecond delay. Then I am going to copy this whole thing and paste it here, and the delay will be 400 millisecond. Then for the next one it's 600, then 800, and finally 1000. So let's check. So if I refresh, you can see it's look great. So it's smoothly coming to the page. Next we have this section. So let's animate this section also. So for this is the customer support section. So here for the image we have data-aos equal to fade left, and data-aos anchor placement is equal to top center. So I am going to copy this. For the H1 we have fade left, so this is going to be fade to right, and this is will be fade left, and here we are going to apply a delay. The dash us dash delay is equal to 200. Then I am going to copy this, and for the p tag this will be fade right, and the delay will be 400. Then for this tip we have fade up, and the delay will be 600. And then we have 800, 1000, and finally this. So now let's check. So if I scroll, so this is perfect. This scroll animation also works properly. Next we are going to animate our price section. So let's animate our price section. For this I am going to the price to tsx. Then for the first price card we have data. I'm just going to paste the previous code here, so it will be fade right, fade right. And there we are not going to apply any delay. For the next one we have fade up, and here I am going to apply a delay of 200. And for the third one it's fade left, and the delay will be 400. So let's check. I'm going to refresh the page. So let's scroll. So this is our pricing section. The animation is perfect. So if I refresh this again, so you can see the scroll animation is worked properly. Then we are going to animate this section. So let's go to the support team, and here we just animate our image. So data, and just copy this section. We do not need any delay here, and the animation will be of type fade left. So that this is it. I'm going to refresh the page, and I'm going to scroll. So you can see this also works properly. So this is our animation. Our animation is complete. Let me show you the animation in mobile view. So let's select the mobile devices, and I'm going to refresh the page. You can see in mobile view the animation is work properly. So everything is neat and clean. So the price section, the price card, this image. So everything works properly. Now our project is completed. Now only thing that is left is to deployment. Finally, we are going to deploy our project on the Vercel so that you can share the link to your client or you can add the link in your portfolio. So let's deploy this project in Vercel. So first we need to push this project in GitHub. So I'm going to open my GitHub account. Then I'm going to create a new repository. I'm going to name it agency YT and I'm going to make it a private repository and then create. Now it's create the repository. Now in the project I'm going to stop this and I'm going to initialize the git using git init and then I'm going to add using git add dot. Then I'm going to commit this and the message will be first commit. So we done this part. So then we have this. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Next we have to add our remote origin. So copy this and finally git push. Now it will push our project in GitHub. So it's complete. Now let's refresh this page. So this is our repository. Now I'm going to open my Vercel dashboard. If you don't have one, you need to sign up. It's a free platform. So now I'm going to add a new project. And you need to connect your GitHub with this Vercel website. So this is the repository that I am created, agency YT. I'm going to import this and the project name will be this and then I'm going to deploy this. Let's wait for some time. It's deploying. Now it's building our project. So it's installing the dependencies. Now it's creating an optimized production build. So our deployment is complete. So I'm going to the dashboard. And this is our domain. You can add custom domain. I have a link in the description of Namecheap domain and hosting. You can buy domain and hosting from there. So this is our link. Now you can share this link to your client or you can add this in your portfolio. So let's check our website. Everything works properly. The animation. Let's check the responsiveness. It also works properly. So this is our project. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment section. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video.